Welcome to another episode of Behind the Dreamers. I'm your host, Jennifer Loehding, and we are talking to the achievers, the creators, the magic makers, and the dreamers. These are our friends. These are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. Well, today's episode, we are going to be peeling back the layers on what it means to navigate life's toughest moments with grace, resilience, and unwavering determination. Imagine juggling the roles of an entrepreneur, author, soon-to-be podcast host, alongside being a devoted mother of two and proud wife. Our guest today embodies the essence of multi-passion pursuit, facing life's curveballs head-on, from navigating personal trauma and pain to making her mark in the competitive world. So I'm excited to chat with her. And you guys are like, what is all this about? She is incredible, great energy. You guys are going to be in for a treat. But before we welcome her on, I do need to do a quick shout out to our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Productions. Need to add excitement to your YouTube videos or some expert hands for editing? Look no further. Walt Mills is the solution you've been searching for. Walt is not only your go-to guy for spicing up content, he's the force behind a thriving film production company with numerous titles in the pipeline. Always on the lookout for raw talent, Walt is eager to collaborate on film and internet productions. With a background deeply rooted in entertainment and promotion, Walt Mills leverages years of skills to give you the spotlight you deserve. Want to learn more about Walt and his work? Head on over to waltmillsproductions.net and let your content shine. All right. And with that, we're ready to bring our guests on today. So Chelsea is a shining example of strength and perseverance as a pioneering force in the construction industry, a field often dominated by men. Chelsea's journey is a beacon of inspiration for anyone striving to carve their own path in challenging environments. Her story is not just about surviving, it's about thriving by transforming adversity into achievement. Chelsea believes in the power of sharing our victories over adversity to offer hope and solidarity to those in similar battles. So welcome to the show, Chelsea. So excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here.
It's going to be so much fun because you are just doing cool things. And I know you just had a book release, which is so exciting.
Yep.
And so this show is all about, you know, our stories, our journey, like what leads us to where we are, what we've learned in that process, how we can inspire people. And I know you embody all of that. So I really want to open this up and talk a little bit about construction. How did this happen?
Yeah, it's, I like to say I wasn't playing with Barbies when I was little and being like, I'm going to own a construction company someday. That definitely was not on the radar at all. So like, and I'm sure like many people, I fell into it, and I'll kind of say how I fell into it, but a lot of people do that. When you ask them like, how'd you get into what you're doing? So I have a Spanish degree and a broadcast journalism degree. From college, I had to do my internship. So I'm from a small town in South Dakota. I moved out to Denver to do my internship, did that. And then I just ended up staying. And at that point, like I had wanted to be the next Barbara Walters, but then I found out they make like 20 grand a year and work nights and weekends. And I was like, that sounds horrible. So I took a job because the like 6 months in, you know, the college bills start coming. I was like, I just literally need a job. So I took a job at a like a temp staffing agency. So I worked at a bunch of random offices in Denver. And then that lady passed me on to her sister, who was hiring for an experiential marketing and trade show company. So I went and worked. I started as a receptionist there and then worked my way up through the company for about 5 or 6 years. And then I kind of just had this feeling that I didn't feel like I was doing anything like that really mattered, you know, in the world. I wasn't making an impact. But then I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. So did some soul searching. And then I actually quit that, got my master's in education, and became a high school Spanish teacher for 10 years. So did that till the last year was rough. Like one day a kid called me an effing waste of space. And I was like, okay. And then I remember just looking, like sitting there in my room, and I was like, oh, I don't like this anymore. So I was desperate to move on, but again, had no clue what I was going to do. And I started applying for all these jobs. No one called me at all, like crickets. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, so the only job I got offered was as an office manager for a different construction company. So that's how I got into commercial construction. And then in March of 2020, randomly, because what else are we doing? I started my company. And I built that, and still work that other full-time job until April of 22. So, and that at that point, I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. Like 2 legitimate full-time jobs is like just way too much on top of just life. Right. It's like, nope. So yeah. So since then I've been running my company, and we're over doubling every year. I have amazing clients, amazing employees, and I just am really grateful and proud of where we are right now.
You gave me chills. Okay. So I have to back up in your story a little bit, because my very first guest today also said the same thing about the journalism thing. She like, thought I was going to be like the next Barbara Walters or something like that. She said that I realized they didn't get paid anything.
No.
And 3 people today that said, and all of y'all had been like really good speakers, you know, like it's funny. But they've all said the same thing. I was going to go into journalism, and I realized I didn't make any money, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about the education and going into that, and then these stories, they just, to me, it's so awesome to see how people sort of transverse through these different things and end up kind of where they are. And it's not like you mentioned playing Barbies in construction, like
yeah,
right,
yeah.
You know, I want to be in construction when I grow up, right?
Right, yeah. And it's interesting, you know, they're also random and different, like completely different. But I wouldn't change any of it, because I grew as a person through each. I learned like things about myself. I learned skills through all of them. So I'm grateful I went through all of them. And then when you start something new, it's harder, because you're like, wait, what am I doing? You know, but I guess I'm proof that you can start something super new, completely new, work really hard, ask questions, learn, and be successful still.
Yeah. What do you feel like I always like to ask this question when I have somebody on here that's got something like this, like you've done, and you've scaled this, and you've worked it, you've done really well. What do you feel like has contributed to the success? I know you said working hard, but anything else that you can think of that really feel like has been a factor in this business growing the way it's grown?
I would think probably for me, 2 things. Like number one, just being myself and being honest, and like, I try to be really honest with clients. Like if we can't help them, I ask a lot of questions up front. And if we can't help them, I tell them. And then I try, if I can, to offer a solution. But, you know, I'm like, I never want to pass up work, but you know, I don't want to cause them issues on a construction site. Like there's safety, there's lives involved. That's really important. So just being honest, and like, if they think they want to do one thing, but we would recommend something else, to consult with them. And really the success has just been relationships completely. Like, and that could go back when I was a teacher too. You won't get anywhere in life if you're good at building relationships and getting to know people and caring about that, you'll be successful in whatever you do. Truly, I think, because people care about you. Like I can get together with people and we're just talking about, what'd you do this weekend? They were talking about family. We're talking about life, and that's what people care about. So, and it just makes it more fun when you work together. So I would say those 2 things.
I think those are great. And I think the relation part is so huge. And you're right. When you learn that skill, it will really transverse into anything that you're doing. And you kind of touched upon that when you said you learned things in each of those areas that you were in, and like just the education, learning the relationship.
Yeah.
I just talked about this the other day about growth, right? Like I said, I was in 22 years of Mary Kay, and I learned a lot of things. I learned to coach, I learned to book, I learned to sell, I learned all these great skills that really go in all areas. But interestingly enough, you think about it, you had to learn how to build relationships. You had to learn that. And I talked about this the other day, how it really moved into when I started doing podcasting, because I started having to find out more things about people, right? Asking more questions. We used to always have the saying, Mary Kay, that nothing would happen until you sell something. Well, nothing really happens in selling until you get to know people.
Oh, totally.
Knowing what they need and how you can help them, whether or not you can even help them, right? You may not have a solution for them. And I think it takes a certain amount of willingness to say, I may not be the right fit, but you being the client is more important. And I need to know whether or not what I have is a fit for you.
And that they know if you genuinely care, or if you're just trying to make a sale and move on, right? People know that. That's so,
right? We know this.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was having this conversation today with somebody, and I'm not going to name anything on this podcast, but I was talking about somebody today. And I'm like, this person just strikes me as the type of person that the sale is probably more important to them than the client relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we as humans can pick up on that type
Totally.
of transaction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing something good there. I love it. So you just had a book launch out recently. Yep. So maybe tell us a little bit about that, what it's about. And
sure.
I know we want to make sure we get a plug in for that. For sure.
Thank you. So my book is called Real Vibes Only: Unapologetic Confessions of a Hot Mess Mompreneur. And it's just a compilation of short stories from my life of things I've gone through, things I've overcome. Some are pretty intense, some are kind of in the middle, some are lighter, but it's really just the whole goal of this. And there's such different stories, but the goal I didn't know what I was going to write when I started writing. These just poured out of me and then became this book. But really, I hope to inspire other women, other entrepreneurs, other busy people that, you know, we've all gone through hard times in life and you will get through. It won't break you. You will come out stronger on the other side. And just to give hope and really to say, be authentic and real. Like, why are we, especially as women, like trying to be perfect? And why, as moms, like, why are we trying to think we're alone and we're suffering in silence and we have to be perfect? That's right. Like, to find actual true connection and be happy and be fulfilled. Maybe we should just be honest and, you know, find our tribe so we can be honest. And it's not like you're sitting there complaining all the time, but if you need a day to do that, do it and have that safe person that you actually can do that with. Right. But have people building you up and supporting you and just being real. And, you know, in this world of like fake Instagram, like, you know, they're making people feel bad about being real or feeling like guilt or shame because we don't look like them. We're never going to look like them. It's so fake, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember what the whole title was. I just like the hot mess mom part. I like that.
Yep. And there's a lot of hot mess. I think the first chapter is called If You're a Perfect Mom, Don't Read This. And then I list all the crazy things, and they're pretty crazy, that my 2 sons have done that week. And like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, and if you have boys, we know there's never a dull moment for sure.
No. And my little one, we call the honey badger. He's crazy and I love him, but he's insane. And the stuff, I'm actually going to write a children's book about him because he has like run away naked. And my neighbor texted me a picture saying, you got a streaker. He was 3. He climbed a 5-foot wooden fence and ran away butt naked. So he did that. He bought like a $1,500 dirt bike on Amazon. He does like the most random things. And I'm like, oh, please just like take it easy on me, child.
Yeah. That's so funny. I feel like boys, I have 2 girls and then my youngest is a boy. And I feel like they're just a little bit different.
Yeah. They're a lot different.
Yeah, they do different things. And so maybe my son's done maybe that crazy, but I feel like he has done some pretty crazy things.
Yeah.
I'm just like, please just stop.
I know. My older son was like, oh, Mom, are you going to write a book about me? And I was like, hey, bud, like, think of all the stuff your brother does and like all the material he's giving me, you know, like I got probably 20 books for that kid. And he's like,
thank you later. He might be.
He's like, I get it. He's like, yeah, actually, I get what you're saying. It's okay that you don't write a book about me.
Exactly. It's like the little one's got so much content. When they get older, he's going to be like, maybe you didn't want to know all that stuff, right?
Yeah, right.
So great. I love it. So good. So good. Yeah, I love what you're doing. What do you feel like? I mean, you talked about starting all this up as a new mom, or not say new mom, but a mom new in the entrepreneur space. What do you feel like some of the biggest challenges were for you that you had to really kind of, and it's an ongoing, I know these challenges, you know, anytime we're in business are kind of constant, but maybe some things that you, for a new person, maybe coming in that wants to start a company, some new things that you had to overcome.
Entrepreneurs, are you ready to level up your leadership skills? Tune in now for an exclusive offer designed just for you.
This is nuts.
Did you know 63% of consumers prefer businesses aligned with their values? Recognizing your core values isn't just vital for business growth, it's the bedrock of effective leadership. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or an aspiring creator, identifying your core values is a key step in constructing the framework of a successful leader, enabling you to lead authentically, expand your business, and live life on your terms.
Kettle don't play. Playing the kettle to flame. Go 100 all day. Foot on the pedal, no brakes. Paid on my dues, waited in line.
Are you ready to access tools to kickstart your leadership journey? Unlock a treasure trove of insights and get your free resources at www.linktree/Jennifer Loehding. Take that crucial first step toward realizing your leadership aspirations and elevate your leadership game today.
Yeah, probably the biggest things is having boundaries for your time. Like early on in the business, like pretty much every banker, insurance person, certain people email me, hey, can we have coffee and chat? I just want to see how I can support you. And I used to go to all of them. And then I realized how valuable my time is and that I literally do everything in the company and I don't have time for that, right? It's truly a waste of my time. It's a waste of their time because guess what? I will drive my car off a cliff if I ever have to switch commercial insurance again because it's horrible. I just hate it so much. Or banks. So I'm like, I nicely say no. Like it's just, I have to pick what I'm doing and make sure whatever meeting or event, like, is it actually worth my time? Am I getting new clients? Am I learning or growing in some way? Is it inspiring me? And if it's not those things, then just say no. It's going to be fine. And then also I would say you have to make your schedule so that you are fulfilled because it is draining. It is crazy. Like being in construction today, my phone rang at 6 a.m. It was my employee. It was like snowing. So I had to call the client at 6 a.m. today. Yeah. So my days start early, but I get up usually really early. I go to the gym first thing. I'm home by 7 a.m. when my family's still sleeping because that is what I need to do for me before normally my phone starts ringing at 7 a.m. So it's like, I got that in. I have to get out in the sunshine. I have to do things that fill me up and have to build those in because the day's gonna get away from you. Like it just is, when you're doing a million things, but like you have to first build your life like what you want it to be first and your non-negotiables that fill you up, make you feel healthy and happy and fill in the work around it. Otherwise, like what's the point of being successful in however many years when your health is failing, you're getting divorced, your kids hate you? Like that's not success to me. If the company appears successful, but everything else is falling apart, like to truly be happy, you have to do it now, right now and build it in. And then it's actually enjoyable. And not every day is, but you have to, that's your goal going into each day.
Right. You said two amazing things there. One of those I work on with people on all the time, and that's trying to create that harmony, right? It's like trying to teach them sustainable habits so that they can take their business for the long haul, but also not compromise those values that you're talking about. So I think that's so important because, I ask this question all the time to people, like, how do you define success? And a lot of times they'll, for most people that I feel are truly successful, it's that they're living life on their terms, meaning they're able to do the things that they enjoy doing, make money at the things that they enjoy doing, but live their life the way they choose to construct it. I think the other thing that I like that you said is that you have to design it. Like you have to create it to live it, right? Because I think so often, I would say probably I did a podcast with a guy on my show and I asked the question, like how many people, I can't remember how he posed it, but it was, how many people do you feel like are truly successful? And he says like 2%. So we call it the 2%er club, right? Because that means 98% of people go through life really waiting for things to be right to design the life. Like
they'll never, and then they'll be at the end of the life and they'll be like, oh, I didn't even live my life. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled, right? It's like a runaway train. Like you bring the train back, get off the train and create, your thing. Like, so many, it's sad that so many people live like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think honestly, Chelsea, I think it's because they don't know what they don't know, right? Like I feel like when you get into a place where I don't know what the word I'm looking for, how to articulate, but I think when you get into a place where you realize how you define success, right? Like what that looks like to you. And for me, what that is those things I told you. It's being able to do the things I love. It's being able to live within my values, not compromise, right? You talked about that well-being part. That's a very big part of my life. And a lot of that is because I do have a chronic condition that I deal with, a health condition. that my priority has to be that I have to make sure I exercise, make sure I sleep,
Yes.
make sure I get in my time for myself, my detox, whatever you want to call that time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when those things get compromised, my health is compromised. But it's also those things we talk about, like with our family, vacations important to us, our children, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of those things. And I just think that, yeah, we wait for all the things to be right when the things are never going to really be right until we decide to put those things first and make them right.
Absolutely. It's like learning to live in the messiness, the messy chaos, but that's beautiful now because life will never be perfect. And if it is, quote, perfect, that means you're like not living it. You're not like pushing yourself. I mean, that just sounds boring to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I always tell my kids, like, we're weird. We don't want to be perfect. That's boring. You know, like we're weirdos, kids. And they're like, yeah, mom.
I had a mentor that I worked with for a couple of years, and he used to always talk about this in business. And like I said, he's like, if you don't have a fire burning, it's somewhere in your business, you are not growing, right? And I think your life is, it doesn't mean you go out and bringing chaos into your life, but it means that the whole thing is a journey. Everything that every step we take, every day we get up, every day we breathe is a journey. And if you're sitting on the sidelines with this perfect every single day, then you're stuck in a non-growing pattern. And and maybe that's okay for you. There's nothing wrong with that if it is okay for you. But for people like you and I who want to be growing, I imagine most of the listeners that are listening to this show, we all want to be growing. We want to continue to thrive. Yeah. And that means there's going to be a little messy in the middle. Period.
Totally. Like we aren't meant to live mediocre lives. Like we are not meant to do that. Like we'll be like nervous and doing things that scare us because that's who we are. We want to be pushing ourselves and growing. Like I have a million things to do and I'll try to get some stuff off the to-do list, but then I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, it's like, I don't think I'll ever stop having a massive to-do list because I keep thinking of new things that I want to do. I'm like, oh, stop it. But I can't. I just can't.
The minute things start to settle down, I'm like, maybe we should shake something up on the podcast or maybe we should create a new title for this.
Let's change everything.
Let's just change it all up. And then I get bored and I'm like, let's just put it all back again. So,
right. I know.
I was talking to a guy earlier today, and he was like, if we're talking about creators and stuff and how when you're in the entrepreneur space and you're kind of a creator, all of us, I think, have a little bit of creative in us in some way that we just continually, we get to a place where we can be okay with who we are, but we like creating and we like manifesting things. And it doesn't mean that we're necessarily unhappy. It just means that we enjoy, like I told him, I said, for me, I don't know about you, but I love ideas. I'm like a sucker for an idea. If somebody calls me up and they're like, hey, I have an idea, like I'm excited. Like,
you're like, ooh,
I want to know. Tell me, do I need to know about it? I have to, like you, say no to a lot of things because I can't be a part of all of them, but I love ideas and I love telling me things are creating. And so, there's so much goodness in all that you said. Lots to be said about all of it. Get those priorities in place, right?
Yep.
So you're doing cool things. So you got a podcast about to launch here pretty soon. You're excited about that. You're trying to get the name for that. You want to tell us a little bit about it? What's going to be happening with that?
Yeah, this is not my zone of genius, is thinking of names for things. It's really, I just feel bad at it. You know, when you're good at something, I'm definitely not good at this and I'm trying so hard, but I'm trying to name the podcast, but really I want to do solo episodes and then with guests, but very similar to your show. Like I want to have inspiring people on, telling stories, telling things they've been through, going through adversity. What did they learn from it? How did they get out? You know, just inspire people and also just talk about real life, you know, and not this fake stuff that we see everywhere. So yeah, I just love every time I'm on a podcast, I leave, I'm like, yes, you feel so good just connecting with people, right? Other driven, positive people. And yeah, so that's kind of the goal. But yeah, I just need to find the name.
You will get it, you know, and
I will.
About podcasting, you know, I think I've met so many incredible people on these shows.
Yeah.
Probably over 300 people now.
Yeah.
And I tell you, learn so much from them. Like I learned so many things. And you hear a lot of the same things come up
in different ways.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's so fun being in that because like if you have nobody to talk to, just do a couple episodes. Like you can get your cup filled in a day, and it's like,
Oh,
man,
totally.
they never had to leave my house to do it. You know?
Yeah.
It's such a good thing. And I think with all the world, there's so much negativity out there that it's fun when you get to have positive things to put out there. And that's why I like doing. That's why I like talking to people like you, because I think that we just don't hear enough of that.
Yeah, it's inspiring. The world's like heavy and just cold and sad and like depressing every time that I run from the news, like literally run. I hate it so much, but my husband loves it. And I'm always like, more death and destruction. And then I like run out of the room because I hate it so much. And it's like, because I'm an empath and I'll hear a story accidentally or accidentally read it. And then I'll cry about it for months. And I'm like, why did I read that?
I'm like, no. It's so funny you say that because a lot of times my husband has like a couple things. You know, we're in Texas, so he has a couple things. It's like politics, gun shows, and self-help. You know, and any given day, I'm okay with the self-help, but after a day of, you know, a whole day of doing that, like, I'm done. I need out of that. I don't want to look at guns, and I don't want to hear any politics.
Oh, I hate talking about politics too.
We got on tonight. Which one are we doing tonight? Are we going to start cycling them? We're going to go through the cycle. Do we maybe just put some trash on for a while?
Yeah, like mindless, like, yeah.
Maybe it's a new thing or something. I'm like, the gun show. Like, how many times can we look at the gun?
My husband would love that. I'd be like, oh my God, seriously.
Yeah, I'm like, they all kind of look the same. I don't know. What do we like? He's like, no, this one's better.
Just go by yourself. Yeah. Like, I'll go do something fun.
And I am an empath too, so I do that with like the animal things. Like I see animals and stuff like, you know, they come over my thing, and I'm like,
yeah. I'm like, why did I see that?
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Well, I'm excited for your podcast because I think it's going to be great. You will get that title figured out. You know, I have become an avid fan of the Chat GPT these days. And funny story, I was trying to create a title for anybody out there listening to this. I was trying to create a new title for my business cards because I went from doing. You know, I was in Mary Kay for 22 years. So I was like an affiliate marketer. I was a consultant. Then I went to affiliate marketer. And then I was trying to figure out, like, what do I put for the type of coach that I am? Because I'm a hybrid between like a life coach and a business coach. I can do both. But I do more like what I told you, where I'm trying to teach people how to bring the two together. It's not just about learning how to do your business, but how do you navigate your life? And so I was like, in Chat GPT, I kept typing in, like, give me a title for this. Give me a title for this. And it gave me like, Success Maven. I was like, I don't know about the Maven, but then I got Success Architect. And I like that because I kept using the word architect in my program, that like I was teaching them a framework of architecture on how to design their business in alignment with their life. And it's this whole program. So I ended up coming up with Success Architect. And then somebody told me, they're like, I kind of like that title.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Like mindset coach or leadership coach.
It's different, but it's cool. It's still, I like that.
All of those, but it's a little different. So then people are like, what's a success architect? And I'm like, well, we'll talk about it. It's really,
it like invites conversation. I actually am using Chat GPT to try. The other day, I just wrote down all the words that I like describe the person I'm talking to, and then I put them in. I'm like, create podcast names for this. And I have like 60 to go through, but it's more, I'm just using it for inspiration to like pick and choose. But I have a friend just told me about that like 9 months ago. I'm like, what's this? I live under a rock. I don't know any of the cool stuff or tech, but it's amazing. It's really impressive.
Yeah, you can when you get ready to do, that's a whole nother conversation we can have when you get ready to do the podcast. Oh my gosh, you can do your body. I mean, so much.
Yes.
And with your title, you may even, like you said, inspiration's kind of, I think that's what I ended up doing. I ended up pulling it wasn't like it said Success Architect.
But you saw it.
But I kind of, it's kind of like in that wasn't Sesame, the TOO2.
Yeah, right. But it gives you ideas and helps you maybe think differently than what my brain is doing, which is not good.
Probably, I think we get so, I had a guest come on my other show that was talking about the right brain and the left brain, and we get so task oriented.
Yeah.
The creative side of our brain sort of goes in stall mode.
It does.
That's why you have a hard time. So I found that, for I don't know how you are, but sometimes when I need to be creative, I have to do it like at weird times, like when I'm walking the dogs, or like when I'm not really working on work stuff, or in that zone to be task oriented. Like, no way, it's not happening.
Yeah. I have to do that or like physically move away from my office. Because like in my office, it's like work, you know what I mean? I'm just sitting here working. And so I have to maybe go to a coffee shop or do, when I was writing my book, I'd take my laptop to the coffee shop and be like, focus, write for an hour or two, because sitting in my office at home, for some reason, I'm just like stalled. It's very odd. Yeah. Just change it up, change the energy.
This is good. All right. Well, one last question I want to ask you before I ask you, how do people find you? Any like parting words you want to give to somebody that's maybe going to be out there and they're going to start something? I don't know whether it's a new business, maybe they want to go into construction, anything that you want to offer them to say, maybe this is what I would do.
So I would say if you're thinking of starting a business, first of all, do it. It's amazing, but it's not going to be easy. So you better buckle up. It's going to take some grit. It's like my son started a smoothie company the other day, my 7-year-old, and then he gave up after one day because he only had the mail lady as his client. And I'm like, oh, child, you will never make it as an entrepreneur if you just gave up right there the first day. And, so be in it for the long haul. Success will not happen overnight, but you can actually make your life amazing and joyful and fulfilled what you want. And then I would say, surround yourself with people who are doing what you're doing, who are doing what you want to do and doing it well. Become friends with them. Have them be your mentor. Call them when you're like, something happens and you don't know what to do. Like lean on those people because they're out there and they had mentors or people that helped them too. And most of them are happy to give back. So
that's good. That's good. Thank you for sharing that, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. I'm excited for you and keep doing your thing. You're like rocking it. I love it. Love the energy. Love all the stuff about you. Got it.
Thank you.
On. If our audience wants to get in touch with you, maybe they want to pick up a copy of the book, follow the podcast. It's going to be coming out. Where do you want us to send them?
I would say just check out my website. It's chelseahusum.com. So ChelseaHusum.com. I have a free, it's Your Unapologetic Life workbook I just put on there. You can find out there's links to like my socials, speaking, podcasts, book, all that stuff on there. That's probably the best way to connect.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to connect with you too, so I can when your podcast comes out and all that good stuff. It's been amazing. Thank you for sharing with us and your journey. Like I said, you're doing cool things. Keep inspiring.
Thank you.
All that fun stuff.
It was so good to chat with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, to our audience, we enjoy you and appreciate you for checking us out. If you love the show, head on over to Apple, give us a review there. You can hit that subscribe button on YouTube so we can keep sharing all these incredible stories. And as I always say, in order to live the extraordinary, you must start. Every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, be kind to one another, and we will see you next time.